Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is LL3's podcast. My name is Craig. I am doing another one today. It's December 28th, 2013. And I was just browsing through some of the articles, and I got a tweet from Suzanne Pausel, who represents OccupyCorporatism.com. And it's going to be talking about what police checkpoints can teach us about privacy invasion. I'll be narrating it and give you my viewpoint. Okay, let's move on or begin. Mike Feuer, a city attorney for Los Angeles, California, wants more police checkpoints to limit the number of drivers impaired by substances other than alcohol. Feuer spoke to the press explaining the Los Angeles Police Department plan to orally swab local residents to check for marijuana, cocaine, and other drugs. On stage with the city attorney was a representative from Mothers Against Drunk Driving, MAD. Feuer said traditionally our office has focused on drunk driving cases. We're expanding drug collection and aggressively enforcing all impaired driving laws. Michelle DaCosta, deputy city attorney, said, state law requires drivers suspected of driving under the influence to submit a blood test, but these have the right to refuse the swab. The oral test is voluntary. We are seeking to have it introduced as an evidential piece in our prosecutions of DUI cases. But at this point, if drivers elect not to do it, it's their right not to. Drivers arrested under suspicion of being intoxicated will be forced to submit a blood test. However, to perfect their evidence collecting skills, officers will be outfitted with an 8-minute portable oral fluids test that is being touted as more effective in drug driving screens. The test determines levels of cocaine, benzodiazepine, which is Xanax, methamphetamines, amphetamines, narcotics angelicus, methadone, THC. Checkpoints will be set in El Monte, Hawthorne, Pasadena, San Gabriel, Crenshaw, Industry, San Fernando Valley, Arcadia, San Gabriel, Whittier, downtown LA, Hollywood, Northridge, Redondo Beach, South LA, the West Valley. In the state of Washington, legislators were debating a month ago on whether or not to institute random checkpoints for sobriety across the state. Washington State Roger Goodman commented, the drumbeat is getting louder. We've made a lot of progress in enacting DUI laws, but there's one missing piece. That's sobriety checkpoints, which have been shown to reduce deaths by 25 to 30% in other states that have them. Amy Izzo, Program and Fund Development Manager for MAD, support Goodman. Izzo said, it shows that we care, that we're trying to take whatever steps necessary to ensure that this doesn't happen to anyone else in the future. It can happen to any of us. Izzo asked, what are we willing to give up for our civil liberties? Are we willing to give up the life of a loved one, a neighbor, our favorite barista, or someone that we care about? While stopping residents and testing them for drug and alcohol use, police and city prosecutors might as well consider eating while driving, more dangerous than being intoxicated or talking on the phone. A study published in 2012 showed that drivers who ate were 44% soured. Sipping a drink caused 22% reduction in the response. Eating and drinking caused poor lane control. Hands-free phones caused 26.5% reduction in response. Texting caused 37.4% slowed response. Alcohol caused 12.5% reduction in response. Annually, the state of California spends $12 million of taxpayer money to violate their Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights with spontaneous checkpoints. Shockingly, most of the checkpoints are manned by officers considered working in overtime, which exponentially increases the cost. The effective nature of these checkpoints have proven by a study published in 2009 that succinctly demonstrated that there is no evidence to indicate that his campaign, which involves a number of sobriety checkpoints and media activities to promote these efforts, has had any impact on public perceptions, driver behaviors, or alcohol-related motor crashes and injuries. The Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI, recommends saturation patrols because checkpoints have been proven to be completely useless. And I've seen some of these links too, and it's very interesting. There's some archives in here on these links. And Law Enforcement Bulletin, that's with FBI. So it has some, good links to this to our site. And one thing that really boggles the mind is the whole driving under the influence, like DUI checkpoints. And to be very honest, I am not like a fan or condone driving under the influence, but I have been observing like they're pushing and pushing to really clamp it down on people having a good time or being harassed, etc. Because I got one thing I have to say is, for example, California, they're completely broke. So they gotta try to find a way of creating revenue. And even with the whole NTCB, National Transportation Safety Board, want to do the same thing for every state within the union, to bring it down to 0.05 on the blood alcohol level. As if you go over that, you can go to jail. So there's a lot of centralizations happening too. If you read James Madison's Federalist Papers, number 46, talks about this: the federal government shall never encroach on the state's jurisdiction. I'm just paraphrasing, but definitely look it up. It's very interesting. But the other thing I noticed too is, like I said, they just want to see how many people they incriminate and how many suckers they have. They're gonna fish in, because I know one thing: some of these states are going for broke. Municipalities are doing the same, and it's very disturbing. But what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be hitting a couple of state constitutions here, California and Washington. Just give me a little time, and I'm going to do, that should be it. I'm going to do California's, and let's see what they have to say in their state constitution about self-incriminating and all that, because it's time for everyone to take a stance on this police state deception. That's all it is, just a one big deception. And let's find out. Let's start off with California. And we'll start off with California here. Okay, let's just look. Forgive me here, I'm just going around and seeing where I can find it. Screw it, let me just go back again. It's not a big deal. Well, excuse me here. Let's just check this out. Alright. Okay, Article 1, going to California's State Constitution. Article 1, Declaration of Rights. And I like what it says here. Article 1, Declaration of Rights, Section 1, and it says, All people are by nature free and independent and have inalienable rights. Among these are enjoying and defending life and liberty, acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, and pursuing and obtaining safety, happiness, and privacy. Woo! Hey! Article 1, Section 1 of the state constitution. Does DOI checkpoints supersede the state constitution, that section? No. Okay, we'll just keep on going down here and find out where the rest of it's at. And let me just see here. I should have been a little bit more prepared, but you know what? That's okay. Oh, wow. Article 1, Section 7. A person may not be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law or denied equal protection of the laws, provided that nothing contained herein or elsewhere in this Constitution imposes upon the state of California or any public entity, board, or official any obligations or responsibility which exceeds those imposed by the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution with respect to use of pupil school assignment, pupil transportation. Alright, so that does count too. Okay, I'm just... Oh, right here. Okay, no. Right here, the right is, Article 1, Section 13, the right of the people to be secured in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable seizures and searches may not be violated, and a warrant may not issue except on probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons and things to be seized. Oh yeah, that's a good one there. And let's go keep on going here. Section 15. The defendant in a criminal cause has the right to a public speedy trial, to compel attendance of witnesses in the defendant's behalf, to have the assistance of counsel for the defendant's defense, to be personally present with counsel, and to be confronted with witnesses against the defendant. The legislature may provide for the deposition of a witness in the presence of the defendant. Okay, yep, defendant and the defendant's counsel. Well, it's like the last sentence. Persons may not be twice be put in jeopardy for the same offense, be compelled for the same criminal cause to be a witness against themselves, or to be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. So, bingo. That's another one right there. Article 1, Section 15 of the California's Constitution supersedes this whole checkpoint wet dream in California. Okay, well, let's go to one in Washington State. Interesting over here. Political power. Section 1, Declaration of Rights. Article 1, Section 1. All political power is inherited in the people, and the governments derive from just powers from the consent of the governed, and are established and protected and maintain individual rights. Okay, that's good right there. Let's just keep going. We'll go on Section 3. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Alright. And oath of ministry, no. Section 7. Invasion of private affairs or home prohibited. No person shall be distributed in his private affairs or his home invaded without authority of law. And right here. Okay. Yep. Article 1, Section 9 supersedes DUI checkpoints in the state of Washington. Article 1, Section 9. No person shall be, it's called rights of the accused persons. No person shall be compelled in any criminal case to give evidence against himself or be twice put in jeopardy